Hey guys, it's Drew here. I'm here to make a video today on a Celtic challenge that is to go with my Celtic study path as I'm studying Celtic Myth and Magic by Adain McCoy. So I made a video post about that, and I'm continuing to post my Monday reflection questions and exercises and my Thursday sort of recap of what we're supposed to be reading if you're reading along, or if you want to just read along and know what the sub-chapters are for each chapter during the month. So alongside this, I really wanted to incorporate a Celtic themed deck challenge sort of series to sort of really work on both connecting with my decks and relating to the text that I'm reading. And I have a few Celtic decks, and one of my favorite is the Druidcraft. I'm going to be talking about this in the next couple of videos that I do, because this is a deck that I really wanted to work with alongside this book to really connect with this deck. I love this deck. It is one of my favorites, and I love the theme. I love the artwork, and I really wanted to plug into that Celtic pantheon by sort of using the cards. And something happened this week where I was doing a bit of reading in the book, and I finally kind of connected in a different way with this deck by looking at the clothing and artwork. And I think it's really important when you are using a deck, and really fun too. I really am having fun with this. Just kind of exploring different avenues inside the deck. As a curious artistic person, as a person who loves symbols and meaning, and also just as a studious person who likes to connect sort of more heavier text or historical text with something visual, because I am such a visual person. And so this challenge is going to do that. I'm going to probably post another challenge, which is the main challenge for the month, which is looking at the clothes and looking at the art and sort of using some questions to understand the different aspects of the cards in a Druidcraft. But for this particular challenge, it's going to be quite simple but very powerful. I've already started working with it, and I really want to work with it more deeply as well throughout the year, especially if this card shows up. So I have notes, as always. So the question or the purpose of the card is to really draw a power for a powerful card and a life force card. So it's like your primal power and life force. And for me, I've also connected this with Deity. So it's my primal life force and power connected with Deity, like how we work together, what the lessons are to working together, and how she influences my being and my path, and how I can influence my connection with her by doing the work and having fun and learning and things like that. So the card that I actually drew for this, I actually drew the Ten of Cups, which was a really, really beautiful card for me, because one of the issues that I deal with a lot is family, trust, and love. I've been through a lot in my life, as has everyone, but I think primarily my shadows do revolve around trust and being able to actually show love and receive love. I'm very much a person who is able and capable to show love, but I always find it awkward to sort of receive it back, and I have different ways of communicating with people. And so one of my challenges this year, as I probably mentioned before, is I have a sort of issues with money and shopping, and sort of tying that with emotional needs and filling voids and whatnot. And one of the ways that has worked in the past for people to communicate with me and show their gratitude and love has definitely been for me to buy them gifts or to receive gifts, or make gifts. I love making gifts, so that's for me is much more personal. But it definitely has an attachment and power to it. And because money is such a powerful thing, it has affected my life and has affected my relationships and my ability to connect with myself and connect with others. For example, when I grew up, I used to go to the beach a lot because we lived near the beach. I used to go swimming, and we used to go to parks. And then we made a sudden change in my life, and we moved to a more suburban area, and that kind of cut me off from sort of nature and sort of just being very outside and doing things for free. And from that point onwards, I kind of started relying on, bits and pieces and buying things and shopping to replace that need, or experience that love and that gratitude. So it's also a journey for me as well, coming back to the land, coming back to being really happy with working with what I have. And it is going to be a struggle. So that's one of my primal forces. And the Ten of Cups definitely talks about being fulfilled by people, being fulfilled by yourself. This is both, like, for me personally, I feel like it's my internal family, so my own personal mother, father archetypes inside of me, my inner child, sort of really being fulfilled and loving those parts of myself and working with them this year. My immediate family, like my mother, brother, fathers and sisters, and my partner or partners in the future. And it really is about developing those relationships, because I do know that it's not the money that's the only barrier. I put barriers up all the time around people because I've learned to live a certain way. And one thing that my goddess is teaching me is to take action, but also to stand tall and have boundaries and be able to set those boundaries so that I can really enjoy that quality, loving, and giving time with the people that I do love and care about and want to meet new friends and whatnot. So for me, that really meant that this card was just a really great sign for me to know that even though this year my primary focus is working on myself and sort of developing a stronger connection with myself, as opposed to living the last couple of years being sort of adventurous and polyamorous and sort of trying to find out who I am, I'm kind of a little bit more grounded in who I feel like I am personally, and I would really like to work on my own inner family, as well as sort of slowly working to take the reins back from trying to be a more dominant role and taking on other people's responsibilities in the family. So, but this also talks about legacy, and for me, I wrote a little bit down. I'm going to read to you off my computer because I wrote it down about inheritance and what inheritance actually means to me. So, bear with me just for a little tiny bit. And I think when you're looking at these cards and when you're looking at your power card, it's really helpful just to go with the keywords or really go within the picture as well and sort of focus on one area. I found it really helped for me for this exercise because I knew that this was a card I wasn't just going to draw and it would be like a one card and it would be one answer. But if I'm looking at my primal power and my life force, this is something incredibly integral to who I am. And so it's something that I'm going to be continuously working on anyway and working with. So you do have the sort of luxury, I guess, well, not even a luxury, but the capability of taking a keyword and really exploring it in more detail, as I've done with this. So, like I said, I was talking about it, one of the words being inheritance. So, I wrote, my legacy is to connect to all that I have inherited that grew as a seed both through DNA and cosmologically. To all that I have put down on paper, created and manifested. All that I have drawn out and shared both painfully and pleasurably. This mixture of healing comes from identifying a legacy, a thought, an action, behavior, and a belief, prevalent through generations to me now, and that I want to call into question to release, understand, and heal. By turning to the magical path of putting words to paper for me and others, and for the future ancestors of me, blood and spiritual. So the Ten of Cups really stood out when I was sort of journaling about that and journaling what inheritance means and why that is such a primal power for me, because one of my big passions and missions, I guess you could say, in life is really healing the family wounds, identifying what wounds are prevalent through my DNA, that have been triggered through DNA, and making my life like healthier and making it healthier for people who come, like my nieces and nephews, for example. I already have nieces and nephews, and even though I don't see them, I would like to leave a legacy of understanding that even if they were struggling with a mental illness, or they've been abused, or they have issues that they are dealing with, that there is someone else in the family who is also identifying and dealing with them and being aware of them, and marking that down, writing about my experiences, sharing my experiences, because not only does it help, like I said, on a blood level with family who are alive, it's going to help people in the future as well, not just family, but people of the land, like people who are connected to the land, like the Celtic people and Celtic cultures and goddesses and gods and deities. They are my ancestors. They are the primal force that is in my blood. It is in my blood. Irish, Celtic path is in my blood. So I'm so glad that we have that documentation, no matter what it is, because it's allowing me to tap into that. And by tapping into that, I'm also going to be able to help myself, help my family by leading example, or just sort of sharing and healing and speaking up and creating a dialogue. And also just by creating art and creating, poetry and holding classes and holding space for people now and in the future. So I think it's a really fantastic exercise, and I really hope that you do give it a try. And I'd really love to hear what your opinions are on the 10 of Cups, but I'd also love to hear about your experiences. I'm actually going to do some more journaling and talk a little bit more about the different things that I pull from this card this year, because I really would love to work with this card a lot more and see how it sort of plays out in your life as well. So thank you guys for watching. It really wasn't too rambly, but I do get quite passionate when I'm talking about cards and life and purposes, and that's why I'm making this channel and coming back to you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I hope that you do this challenge and enjoy it. And if you do, please let me know and share the video. Thank you guys. Bye.